It's time for
It's Fanboy Weekly for all you geeks, nerds, and blurs. Let's get our geek on.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the 5x5 Fanboy Weekly. I'm your host, David, and I'm really tired, right? Welcome to the show. I'm glad everybody who's able to make the show tonight is here. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for following the show. Thank you guys for chatting me up and emailing me and all kind of good stuff. I really appreciate each and every one of you. You know, you can always check us out at the5x5.blogspot.com or the blurredhq.blogspot.com. Both of those are also on Facebook, except the 5x5 is completely spelled out for our Facebook page, because obviously the 5x5 with the 5s being numeric, it was taken. And you always, and I encourage you to tweet me at the 5x5, the 5's numeric, which I've done a lot of tweeting in the last few days. And also follow me on Instagram, One Funny Guy, the number 1 FUNNYGUY. And then you guys can check me out on all those social. I think I'm in social media overdrive. I need to bring that on down a little bit, but I'm glad I'm here. I made it, and we're going to keep it kind of short tonight because, like I said, I am tired because, you know, Saturday I drove to Indy and I went to Indy Pop Con, and it was a pretty fantastic experience. It was live. It was really live, and I enjoyed myself. And my niece, who went with me, I think she had more fun than I did. And I didn't know she was such a fangirl, but obviously she is. And then the longer show that I'm going to do Tuesday night, I'll have our audio from the con, some stuff that we pre-recorded before we got to the con. The funny thing is, as we're going to the con, I wanted to do like a little live show, and I'll have the audio. It's on here, but I made it private because I hit the wrong button. I was doing too many things, and I hit the wrong button. It went off, and I'm like, you know what? It obviously wasn't meant to be. So I wasn't able to do that. But I had we had a great observations, all three of us. My darling Nikki from Real Talk with David and Nikki. She lives in Indy, so we was able to reconnect. She knows she's my cousin, and she was the absolute best host. She drove us to the event. You know, I drove, of course, to her home, and then she drove us because she knows Indianapolis pretty well. But it was fun. We all had a great time. Like I said, I think my niece, she actually bought more stuff than I. I was trying to be conservative. I was trying to. I'm like, okay, I have a budget. You know, I set a budget for what I wanted to spend, what I wanted to do. You know, you include gas and then the incidentals like food and stuff like that. But I came in under budget. So that was good. But I did buy a lot of stuff, though. Well, and you'll see pictures if you look on the Facebook page when I get myself settled. And I've tweeted a little bit today, and I put some Facebook stuff up there, and I've done some Instagram posts, but nothing. And I'm trying to figure out how to put all the pictures that we all three have collectively on the 5x5.blogspot.com. I've been trying to do that, so thinking about how I'm going to do that, because sometimes on Blogspot the pictures just don't go the way I like them. They're kind of all over the place, and I want it to be a little bit more uniformed and progression. But then I'll also, that show will be on the longer show will be on Tuesday with our audio. This is just like a little short. I call it short form. You know how you short form video and long form video, it doesn't matter. Because I don't want to miss anybody, because I want to write some notes down, and so anybody that I talk to and things that I don't want to miss them, then I'll be able to, you know, to cross promote some of their all of their sites for people I got cars with. And I'm so mad because I could, you know, guys, I've told you before, I could be a little bit of a procrastinator. So when I procrastinate, Um, but the thing is, I'm actually better under pressure than when I have a long time to plan. Although I like to have a plan, like this trip was a planned thing, and actually time down to the wire of traveling time and what we had to do. It's funny when I got to Darling Nikki's house. Um, when I got to Dolly and Nikki's house, I was like, okay, you're not on my schedule. I need you to hurry up. I need you to get yourself together, girl. I need you to go get dressed. It was so funny because she's like, I don't know what to wear. I'm like, girl, you better put on something, and because we're time is a wasting. Uh, but it was totally fine. And my boy Ken Boggle just popped into the chat room. And you guys, every time we have the show, the chat room is always open, and my buddy Ken is always there, welcoming everyone. So um, you can come and say hey to Ken. And he told me I ain't nobody. Ain't nobody, I used to like that song. It used to be the jam. Shaka Khan. Uh, I like cracking myself up, right? Anyhow, and so like I said, the experience was really, really great. But like with the blogspot blog, I want to get the pictures just right. But I want to have I don't want to miss anybody, so that's why I'm gonna do a longer show on Tuesday night, and then I'll also have a YouTube um, video to go go along with everything, and I'll probably add in pieces of the audio once that's all done. But I'll eventually get it together. I'm catching up because I had to work today. I had to work 10 hours today, so. But I did get some sleep, but it wasn't that kind of rest sleep. It's kind of that sleep you have to have. But then of course I didn't sleep as long as I wanted to because I had to get up and do stuff. Because after you travel, I don't care if it's one day or a week, there you have to have a decompression. Um, some decompression time from what you did, and we did a lot of driving, and like I made really good time because I told you last week that I was going to take I-69 from Southern Indiana to Indianapolis, but thank God I didn't because my friends at Thought Bubbles podcast, Chris and Elaine, they told me that there was like some construction going on, and there was like some backwoods or back road action that was going on, and I don't like driving on back roads. I ain't that type of boy, especially in Indiana. Uh-huh. I don't even need to say it, right? And so I did take 41, which is a little bit, it should be a little bit longer. If you do the map quest or did the map quest, if you look at the map quest, you only save 7 minutes. And maybe that was due to the fact of the construction that I didn't know about, which was good. So going up was really good. I actually made it because I was rolling. And when you leave at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's no one on the street. And even driving the speed limit, you can, going through all the lights, normally lights are timed, so you don't have to stop. And so I caught every light getting out of town. And then once you're up past, I guess that would be Vincent's, Indiana. You can really roll, and then once you hop on 70, it's what 70. Is it 70 on 70 or 65 on 70? And so I was going like almost 75. So I rode and I made it to Indy in less than 3 hours. But on the way back, we left Indianapolis approximately because Indy's an hour ahead of us, so we probably left about 7 o'clock my time, and so because I wanted to be on a a particular highway. I want to be back on 41, not 70, going south, 41 south, before it got dark, and so because it's a little bit easier. But so what happened? A car blew up, exploded, whatever happened. It caught a fire and ended up hitting a semi truck, which in turn caught a fire. So it has stopped all the traffic on both sides of 70. And I was on 70, stopped, not moving at all, right outside Indianapolis, right before you get to Plainville, for an hour and a half. So they made my roughly 3.5 hour drive like I knew it was going to be a little bit more congested leaving, it made it into a 5-hour drive. We didn't get home until about 11:30. Which I guess it's only 4 hours, 4-hour drive. So still, it wasn't bad. So I can't complain. Oh, and Ken Boggle, it is Chaka Khan. Excuse me, Chaka Khan. Remember Chaka Khan? Remember that song, Feel For You? So, like I said, so that was really the only kink in the day, was getting home. But we had already had our fun, and I was exhausted. She was exhausted, and for some reason, I was mad. I have a tickle in my throat. I was mad at. Ooh, excuse me. I need some water. I was mad at AT&T because my GPS kept on dropping. Because sometimes you can be rerouted around the accident, but then I would have to. If I did it and I knew this, I would have to have gone back to Indianapolis to take 69. I knew I didn't want to do that. I did have the option of staying, which I could have went to all the fabulous parties that they had, or the one fabulous party they had. One second. I have a tickle in my throat. I don't know why. And so I could have went to the party and did some of that stuff and left early, like 5 or 6 this morning. But my niece had to work, and of course I had to come in, and I didn't think we would get rested and then driving and then working. So we opted not to do that. We were vigilant, and we made it happen. So I want to get this tickle out of my throat. And then we will come back, and I will do a kind of an overview of things that we did. And then, like I said, on Tuesday will be a longer show. And Ken and I talked like last night, and he was telling me how he prepared for his show. He actually writes his shows out. And I was like, well, no, I normally kind of, during a fanboy show or a comic book show, I normally have the comic books in front of me, and so I can kind of go through those and talk about them. But the late night shows or the interview shows, nothing's really scripted. I might have a few questions that I may want to ask. But like this particular show, I really don't have anything. I have things in my head, and I'm better if I'm interacting with the chat room, or if I'm kind of just kind of not random, spontaneous, I guess is a better word, spontaneous on what I'm musing about at the time. But anyhow, let's take a quick break. We'll play it's not a very long song. It's a very short song. Enough to get this tickle out of my throat while I chug down some sparkling ice. I'm back on it, y'all. What I get today? Peach nectarine, which is really, really good. And we'll be right back. And we're back. It is a 5 by 5 Fanboy Weekly. I'm your host, David, and I like that song. That's such a cute song. It's very, very short, a good interlude to go into something else, I guess. Um, and yeah, I got the tickle away, hopefully. I hope I don't start coughing at my lungs again. But so yeah, Indy Pop Con, awesome, awesome, awesome experience. I think the organizers did a phenomenal job, and I do want to say thank you to Indie PopCon for giving me a press pass and just to promote them and promote what's going on. I think next year, and I talked to Ken Boggle about this, I want to be part of Podcast Alley, which was really interesting because all these guys do these, and I had to step my nerd podcast game up. But I always tell you guys, I'm a fanboy coming lately, so to speak, and I sometimes when I know I should be on something, I'm not, and I get it get it late, which is that's how I do sometimes. It's just me, and and there was a really good. Well, they all were good. And they were all. Everybody was really, really engaging, and they had the little mixing tables out and the microphones. I keep it simple. And one thing with Spreaker is very, very simple. There's not a lot of really recording stuff you have to do. You can just pick up your phone and start doing a show right from your phone. But I had a problem. I didn't want to do it really at the con because I kept on losing my data signal for some reason. I couldn't, and I think it's probably there were so many people there that it was being slowed down, so it kept on dropping anyhow because I had problems posting even pictures and stuff. And it was AT&T, and only AT&T is really good, but for whatever reason, so I think that was a good idea. So I just did some recording of what we were talking about, what we were looking at, how we were kind of responding to some of the things that we did. So you'll hear that on Tuesday night, along with some other stuff, but Podcast Alley. So I think next year, hopefully, I'll be able to be in Podcast Alley. But my big dilemma, I think this occasion was a little bigger than I expected. Of course, I've been to briefly. I went through Dragon Con one year, but it was too much, and plus it was hot, and there was other things that I wanted to do in the city because if you know Labor Day weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, there's a lot going on, a lot. There's Dragon Con, there's Black Pride. I think there's some kind of jazz festival. There's a lot going on in the city, so you had to pick what you want to do. And some of my friends were doing one thing, so that's what I went and did. But I don't know if I'll make it to Dragon Con this year. The next probably big con I'm going to do is going to be the end of. I want to do Scarefest with Ken Boggle. That's my plan tentatively. And I don't know if they're both. I think they're both in September. I think one's 1 week before the other, and then I'm going to do Nashville, Wizard World Nashville, and that I think it's later in September. But I can get to Nashville faster than I can get to Indy, which is good. It's not that far away. I was going to do the Superman celebration in 2 weeks. I think, yeah, in 2 weeks. I think the 14th, 15th, 16th, or the 13th, 14th, 15th, the Superman celebration in Metropolis. But I'm going to ixnay that, and also if I'm able to swing it, I might do the OMG Con here, which is here to me is the tri-state area, which is Owensboro, Kentucky. I might do that, but haven't really decided. But that's only like 30, 45 minutes away. So if I wanted to even go in early in the day and then come back home, it's really, really fine. But Wizard World Nashville is late September, and that's the next big comic book pop culture convention that I want to attend, and that's what I'm planning. And then I'm going to do all 3 days. And I think that was my problem here. I just went on Saturday, and I should have went for at least 2 days, maybe Saturday and Sunday, so everything didn't feel as rushed. And I had to get a lot of stuff in a span of to 7 hours. So, well, 8 hours, which we did what we could do, and got to see a lot of stuff. And like I said, the Indy Pop Con organizers were very, very cool. And like I said, I'm really appreciative of the press pass. So next year, hopefully, if I do the table, like I was saying, it was such an occasion that I think I got wrapped up into, what's that saying that we say, your eyes are too big for your stomach? That's what I kind of with me, that's what I ran into. And so next year, hopefully, it'll be a little bit more planned out. Even if I don't do a booth in Podcast Alley, I will be able to um, participate more. If we're still doing the podcast, hopefully I'm still doing it. You guys still want to hear me for a year from now? I don't know. Uh, so I'll be able to participate more and be a little bit more expanded on what I'm doing, and everything be a little bit more planned out. And instead of me just trying to go and see everything, and I think you get it was really my senses were really bombarded. I mean, I felt bombarded. The funny thing is, and I'm gonna say this, and nobody take offense to it. I was telling Ken about this last night. Uh, when we got there, um, it was kind of funky, right? Because, and I'm not a board gamer. I do play Hero Clicks a bit. I like collecting the figurines, but but they had a big room dedicated to all the gamers, and I was like, I don't know if they was having a contest. I didn't go in there. They looked like they were serious with it, and I'm like, it smelled like a fanboy down here. It felt like a basement where you're playing your board games for several days straight and you don't bathe or anything. That's what it smelled like. No tea, no shade, but that's what that's what it smelled like. And I was like, oh, they got serious. And so I told my cousin, I'm like, girl, go in there and yell nerd and see what happens to you. We will have to leave Indianapolis for real. And so, but they were doing their thing, and a lot of stuff was going on. And I was going to throw some shade, and maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to think about how I'm going to say it about one particular spot that was there that it was, I will say it was lackluster at best, and I'll talk about that more on Saturday. Because like I say, this is the 5x5, and you are talking to me. I will throw a little shade, but I ain't gonna out and out talk about anybody. But I might throw a little shade on Tuesday. Anyhow, so it was a beautiful day. It was gorgeous, a perfect weather. Not that we were doing anything outside. Perfect weather. Um, Oh, well, I was talking about, I'm sorry, Podcast Alley. Anyhow, it was perfect weather. It was the best day. So we got there, and then we went and registered. We got a little bracelets, which I gave a whole bunch of them away today to my clients. I think I got 10, 15 maybe. And I didn't win anything. I won something at Free Comic Book Day, but I didn't win anything today. Not that I registered. Oh, I did get a T-shirt from Geek Cities, the Geek City guy. I did. Those guys were really, really nice. Yeah, I think it's geekcity.com. I'll go grab the flyer because I have a lot. I got cards and flyers, and oh, that's what I was saying. I waited too long to do something. And I designed my business cards and everything, and I was going to do them through Kinko's FedEx, and I could have had them the next day. But the next day would have been Saturday when I was leaving, and I didn't know what time it was going to arrive. But I should have went ahead and ordered them so I'd have them. And because they were just like, you have a business card, because they would ask me if I had a press pass. I'm like, well, what are you here press was? I'm like, oh, I have a podcast, and I'm just kind of looking at things and giving my spin on the event itself and talking to people, and so that kind of sucked. So I was able to get my name and get some cards, and I did two spots, and I can't remember. I want to say I did. He tweeted me today, and let me see if I can find it. These guys were really, really cool. Let's see here. See, I'm tired, so I'm not together. Normally, I'm a little bit more on than than I am the excessive viewer, and I have his card. Yeah, the excessive viewer podcast. I believe they are on iTunes. With Mike White, host and blog contributor. I think with Matt Tiny and Mike, a weekly podcast devoted to movies and TV show discussions, conjecture, and analysis. You can check their podcast out at ovpodcast.com. Their blog is obsessiveviewer.com. And their Twitter handle is at I am Mike White. So I'm assuming Mike he runs it, and then Matt and Tiny are on that as well. They had really really nice business cards, which I wish I had. And so thank you guys for letting me talk to you guys a little bit. Now I have to find their show, and I don't know when they're going to have it on because I don't think it's a live show. I think that it's a recorded podcast, which is totally fine. And so Michael and Matt, they all so the good guys there. I think they asked me what was my favorite television show and my favorite movie. So I said Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and followed closely by Arrow. And then my favorite movie, which I don't know if you guys know this, which is more of a sci-fi, pop culture movie, would be The Fifth Element. I can watch that all the way. Not I have it somewhere. I can watch that all the way through like I'm watching it for the first time every time I see it. Plus, I had a small crush on Bruce Willis back then. But anyhow, I also talked to Jeffrey D. Wessel, gdwessel.com. I talked to him, and like I said, I had to look at some of this stuff because you get so much and you kind of get inundated with all this information. Again, it was a sensory overload, and you're like, okay, yeah, thank you for your card, and I wasn't able to get my card. So I'm kind of a little salty about that because, like I said, I wasn't as planned up as I wanted to be. So I'll plan better next time. So Nashville Con in September, it will be on, and I'm gonna do it up way big, way big, and hook that all up, and it'll be fun. And I have my business cards, and maybe we'll get a call, and I'll maybe give them a email or something. I'll get a press pass or something because that's fun. You get a little bit more of a exclusivity with those type of things. And I'm proud of my podcast, and a little bit. But like I said earlier, I need to step in my nerd podcast game. There was one I can I was very kind of intimidated, because not that I'm shy, because I'm proud of what I do, and I just don't do pop culture and comic books, on the late night show. Anything's liable to come out of this mouth. And it was interesting, and I'm like, oh, okay. And but I think it's kind of a competition thing as well. You're there to get the most attention, so people will listen. So I totally get it. But I think I'm the queen bee too. So don't get it twisted. Watch out. Also, the Nerds Domain, which are really cool. And I think I did a spot with them when I was there as well, I think. But they do, no, it wasn't them, it was somebody else. Anyhow, nerds.com is their website. You can find them on Facebook under nerds.com. No, Nerds Domain. They do weekly reviews on books, podcasts, games, apps, and movies. This is the guy that said he would review my podcast. Okay. Nerds Domain podcast, immediate movie reviews, Nerds Domains on the Criterion Collection, What You Doing, crowdfunding, spotlights, and more. And there's some other stuff that I don't know anything about, but so I'm gonna check those guys out as well. He was really really nice. He asked for my he asked me for my business card. I felt kind of bad, but I said I left it. I said I didn't get them ordered or something stupid. I said. And then Michael T. Mann on YouTube, Movies in Minutes. You can also find him, Michael T. Mann YouTube on Facebook, and on Twitter, Michael_T_Man. Check him out. And if you looked on the Facebook page, I think, my Facebook page, like I said, this will all be a little bit better when I have some time to plan and get everything together because I don't want to sound like a complete idiot. I had a caricature made of me. You know, for some reason I'm into blank comic book covers and I want them all done with something special, something nice, and so I was able to get two done. One was my Avengers World #1. And Larry Hama, I was able to meet him, and he did a sketch on front of my Avengers World #1 of Wolverine. I thought that was really, really cool. He also signed a Wolverine comic book. But you know what? Sometimes if somebody's giving something free, let me tell y'all this. I will say that this is shady. There was a guy in line in front of me. There was a guy, and then a girl, and then me. And so the guy in front of me, he had. I don't think you should be greedy. I don't think you should be what's wrong? No, don't be greedy. I think you need to be, and I think it's my problem. Maybe I'm not assertive enough, but I try to be considerate of other people and other people's time and other people's wait time, and I don't want all the. Even though I do like the spotlight and I like the attention, no, this guy in front of me, I swear, and maybe that's because Larry, he wasn't very friendly. Not that he was mean. He said he was hard of hearing, and I asked him, did he remember doing the book, and he's kind of said yes, but he probably had carpal tunnel because this guy in front of me, he had no less than 20 Wolverine books, I guess, that Larry Hama had contributed to or wrote on or did some of the artwork on. He did. He had no less than 20 books, and here's this man signing his name on all of them. I'm like, are you serious, dude? And I'm like, what's really going on? And then he tried to distract me because he had this coat on. He was like the doctor, dressed up as a doctor, and he tried to distract me and tried to talk to me about how hot it was. I'm like, dude, I see all them books you're having that man sign. Leave him alone, you know? And I just start, dude, but one or two, okay. I had more than one, but that he had done, but the one big one that was actually on the Indy Pop Con website was the one that I happened to have. And it's funny that I was going through the comic books during the Indy Pop Con thing. You had different comic book vendors. I seen it again, but I had mine, and I've had it for 22 years. And we kind of laughed about that. And then he did the sketch for me because he was doing free sketches, so I want that done. But there was some people waiting behind me. This guy had all these books to be signed. But it was like, whatever. And that'll be on the website eventually, the picture of him actually doing the drawing and, you know, doing that for me. And also, so I had a second blank cover, and I'm going to get more because I was really kind of stoked about it. And by the way, Larry Hama, he does a lot with G.I. Joe right now. And thing is, I seen a blank cover G.I. Joe Thursday night at my local comic book store when I was over there, and I was like, damn. No, Friday night, I'm like, damn, I should have grabbed that, but you know, they wanted $5 for it, and I wasn't trying to do all that because I wanted to keep it in my budget because my budget really started Friday of what I was spending and getting ready to go Saturday morning. Anyhow, artofbeast.com. That's artofbeast.com. He did a caricature of me on my blank Justice League Unlimited, which is a book right now that I'm not even going to read. So it was a story I didn't like, but it was a zero, and I was like, okay, this is a good way to jump onto Justice League full on, and I didn't like it. But anyhow, I was like, well, I'm going to get it done. And so, you know, Animal Man is part of the cast of this particular book, and Martian Manhunter as well. He did a caricature of me as Animal Man, which the only thing that I didn't like, and it's totally my fault, I had broke my glasses. No, I had left my glasses in the car or something. And anyhow, I left my glasses, so it looks like me without my glasses, but the caricature is totally hot. It's for me. It was, other than meeting Nicholas Brendan, this is right up there with one of my best gets from Indy Pop Con. Um, Bob East is the artist. He's local to Indianapolis. Um, and you can go to his website at artofbeast.com. He was really, really nice, and if you see the picture, I was stoked about it because it looked so good, and it didn't cost me a lot to have done, and he was really cool, and he did this awesome caricature of me, and you'll see that picture. It'll be in the YouTube video, and it's already on some things. I think it's even my icon or something. But anyhow, so check that out. Check him out. It was really cool. That's like one of my favorite things that I got from Indy Pop Con. I took it to work today to show people because I was so stoked about it. And then if you're looking for comic books, you have things you can't find, comichunters.com. Some nice young men, Damani Edmondson and Ramon Edmondson. Check them out at comichunters.com. They can find you what you need. And then criticconfirmed.com. You can listen to their podcast at soundcloud.com/crit-confirm. Didn't really get to talk to them much, but they seem really interesting. And then Project Nerd, the Nerdcast, they were some really nice guys. I think this was the one that I did a little segment with them as well. So, but we'll talk about when I get to go through the sites, and I'm going to do that before I go to bed. We'll talk about them more on Tuesday. See if I put Ken Boggle asleep. Hey, Apocalypse, what's up? What's up? Sorry, I wasn't looking at my screen. Let's see. And yes, I need to lay off those. I know, so bad. And I need to get my Mark 10s again because I just haven't done it yet because I'm a procrastinator. Oh, there's one more. Billy and Brandon Watch Movies. They have a little web series. They were really cool. And I think my cousin won. She told me that she won a poster from them today. So check out billyandbrandon.com. Those guys were cool as well. Whew. I'm talking a lot, right? We're going to take one more break and we'll come back up and I'm going to wrap it up a little bit. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm coughing so much tonight. I want to wrap it up a little bit. Finish up what I was talking about. Sorry, guys. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Pop Con. My boy. Well, my PC is straight tripping right now. I kid you not. But I also ate something. I haven't eaten today. I had Subway like 2 o'clock. I had some Subway, so I guess I really have eaten today. But that was like 2 o'clock, and I like to eat, right? And so here I am eating a Lunchable. Generic Lunchable is only 98 cents, but this is a real one. I don't do generic. Well, yeah, I do. But it's well, off the subject. So I'm trying to listen in to see if I can hear myself on the other channel, but I think I am off. Hopefully, if you guys can hear me in the chat room, I don't know, something's going on with my internet connection. I don't know what's going on. It's irritating me. I wasn't talking for a second, but Ken said he's not hearing me, but it from what I'm looking at, everything looks like it's right. Hmm. Okay, he says I'm on now. I don't know what's going on. I apologize. And normally it's better than this. So any new people that are listening to my show, it's normally not like this. Oh, and I do have a really quick announcement. On June the 20th. Now, see, I had it earlier. On June the 20th, yours truly will be part of the Pride 48 lineup of podcasts. Yeah, I think my internet connection is really slow for some reason tonight, and it probably has more to do with my computer than anything, because I can't even pull up. Yeah, that took way too long. Um, on June, let's see, on June the 20, on June 22nd, and I put it on Twitter. On June 22nd, the 5 by 5 will be part of Pride 48. You can go to their website, pride48.com. It's an LGBT podcast site, and they do a live streaming event. Um, in Pride Month, right around the time where there's a lot of Pride events going on, and I will be having the 5 by 5 show, which is June the 22nd. I just the last day of the live streaming. I just got my confirmation today. I'll be doing my show. I don't know how long, and I'm gonna talk to them, but I don't know if it's gonna be. I might just from 11 to 12, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. So if you live in Central Time like I do, that's gonna be 10 to 11. It will be Pride specific. So I've shared my coming out story before here on Spreaker, I believe last year during Pride Month. It is Happy Pride! It's Pride Month. I just now realized that. So I'll throw a little comic book flair in there, because we've had some things going on. So June 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 5 by 5 will be part of the Pride 48 live podcasting event. So I'm really excited to be doing that with those guys. I've been wanting to do. It told me to submit my information, and I did it while I was at Indy Pop Con because 31st was the cutoff date, and so I tweeted him, emailed him, and then he sent me back. He's like, "Okay, these are the times I have. When can you do it?" He knew I had a late night show, but with my work schedule, because I work to midnight, and that would be the time I would have to be going on. And sometimes I get off early, but sometimes I don't. So I said, well, let's just go ahead and do it in the day. So I'm going to do it Sunday. So put this on your calendar. It's only for 1 hour. June the 22nd, Pride 48. The 5x5 show will be on there doing what we do. So a bit like do have a regular podcasters that's on their show, but there's some setup and stuff you have to do. So check that out. Don't forget. So lastly, what I was talking about, kind of throwing some of the people. Um, in more detail. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do it on Blog Talk Radio, and I'll let you guys know definitely tomorrow whether we'll be on Spreaker. Because if I'm on Blog Talk Radio, you guys can call in and chat with me if you went to Indy Pop Con or you have an a Pop Con, Indy Pop Con experience that you want to share. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and if you know me personally, you know that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a big part of my life. I loved that show, and it was I hate to see it go, but it lives on in comic books. They went through, it ended on on television. With season 7, but they're now on season 10 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the comic book, and just so happens issue 3 or 4. I don't have it in front of me. Yes, I do. Issue 3. Uh, Nicholas Brendan co-wrote it along with Crystal's Gage and Rebecca Isaacs. And I don't know if I was the only one. And he did. Nicholas Brandon did sign my copy. He signed my copy of the one where he's on the front, and he wrote David. I wrote that. And now, one thing I will say about Nicholas Brandon, as I observe people in line before me and after me and taking pictures and stuff, he hugged every. They actually, and if you follow me on Twitter, I guess one of his handlers, because I don't know if I was the only one. I'm gonna tweet him and ask. I was the only one that brought my comic book. He tweeted a picture. People bringing in didn't have anything for him to sign, but then they was bringing in the DVD box sets for him to sign, and then we took a big picture with a really 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 good picture of me, my niece, and him together. So it was really cool to meet him, and I got kind of starstruck, and I was kind of stuttering my words because I do that sometimes, and I should be used to celebrities because I all the time. Oh, and Xander was a big part of the show, even though I hated Xander a lot because he would tell lies and stuff and make Buffy and Willow mad. But he was a definite cog in that show, and I wish him the best on his writing duties on Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 10 in comic book form. So that was a bit more that of if you know, I'm not. This is no shade to any other guest there. Um, to me, Richard Bonham was probably the most genuine out of anyone. He had shirts, his tie dye shirts. Um, I had that information as well. He had shirts that, not that they were on. Uh, he does this for Rupert's kids, and he was only asking for a donation. They said donation of $10, but it was really any amount that you wanted. To so I'm gonna get Rupert on the show eventually because just the being so genuine and open and very very approachable, very down to earth. That left an impression. And I did get a shirt from my mother. He signed it to her, and then he signed two cards with his picture on it. And remember, he was on Survivor, and it was all for Rupert's Kids. So if you go to Rupert's Kids, RUPERTS Kids. Like I'm gonna think about throwing a shade, and I might do it on Tuesday. I don't know yet, but it was fun. Overall, I had a great um, about Tuesday, possibly on Blog Talk Radio. So don't forget to check out the 5 by 5 on Facebook. I'll also tweet it from my Twitter account at the 5 by 5, and it'll also be on the Blurred HQ. And I do apologize, I didn't get a chance to do a comic book review this week, but I think that's about it. There's some other things I want to go over, but I need to do a little more research. And should I get my Nicholas Brandon picture framed? I know I need to make a copy for my niece, but should I get mine framed? I think I should get it framed. Anyhow, I hope you guys are having a great. Oh, I guess it's just really Monday, start of your week. Have a great start of your week. Um, Look for us Tuesday and look for the time tomorrow. I'll finally make a final decision what time we're going to go on. Maybe I'll give the Thought Bubbles cast a call and see because they stayed for 2 days. See what their experiences were and what they happened to like. From Ken says frame it from Indy Pop Con. Thank you, Indy Pop Con, for a fantastic experience. I told my niece that we're going to do this every year, and this is going to be our thing. But next up, it will be Nashville Con because Manu Bennett, that was